Good morning. This is Monday, May 18th, 2020, and we're into our 10th week of social isolation and what some people call the new normal. And so anger can become an emotion we're familiar with. We move from disruption to frustration to anger. What does the Bible have to say about anger? Our verse for the week is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26, where it says, "Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger." I see really two kinds of anger that we can address. One is a healthy kind of anger that protects, a godly anger. God is angry at times in Scripture, so is Jesus as he's driving out the money changers in the temple. And this kind of anger will always seek to protect and help a relationship. God cares, Jesus cares about the poor, the sick, the needy. He cares about his truth being protected and defended. There's also the kind of anger that is a personal anger that lashes out, that disrupts relationships and destroys relationships. Those kind of angers may be expressed in ways of blowing up or clamming up. Now, you may not consider yourself to be an angry person, but I think every one of us at some level will struggle with anger. The person that blows up at something will usually lash out and destroy people and drive them away. The person that clams up will shut people out. But either way, it's destructive to relationships. So I think the question we have to ask ourselves is, why am I angry? And think deeply about this. You may have a quick answer that is a good answer, but it's probably not the right answer. And I think when we examine our own hearts, am I protecting what is of value to God? Or am I just trying to protect something else, trying to protect myself? One is concerned about what God cares about. The other is more of a selfish, self-centered, and lustful type of reaction to something. You know what I find in my own life personally, that 90% of the time that I get angry is usually driven by my own selfish nature. And that's not a good thing. There can be times when anger erupts out of my life and it is godly, it is what we call righteous indignation, and it seeks to protect what God really cares about. The last part of this verse says, "Do not let the sun go down on your anger or go down on your wrath." In other words, if your anger has caused you to sin against someone in a relationship, then before the sun goes down, go make that right. If your anger is toward God, make it right before the sun goes down, before you go to bed that night. If your anger is towards someone else, either by driving them away and blowing up or shutting them out by climbing up, you need to make that right. And don't let that carry on to the next day, because what that does is produces a hardness of your heart. Anger is a God-given emotion. Anger is not wrong in and of itself. God created us as emotional beings. And so he wants this to be used for good. So I leave you with this. Let anger get the best of you, not the worst of you. Have a great week.